Hello everyone, welcome back. I am Tracy Aching and my pen name is Achirise. Welcome back here where we talk about financial intelligence and we grasp our knowledge by reading financial intelligence books. Right now we're reading the Rich Dad Poor Dad book by Robert Kiyosaki. So last time we left at page 5 and we'll just pick up from where we left. This is when a lady, an accountant, attends Robert Kiyosaki's seminar and she is able to complete the rat race game in 50 minutes and helps the others to complete theirs. And then they plan a social date, something of that sort, with Robert Kiyosaki, and we learn that Robert Kiyosaki here is a self-made entrepreneur, able to retire at 47, quite young. And one of the biggest mistakes, according to Robert Kiyosaki, is teaching kids today that, giving them advice that you go to school, get good grades, get to college, and get a secure job. That will always lead them into debt. They can't rely on pension plan anymore, and what else can I say? They will end up being in the rat race. They end up being stuck in the rat race for the rest of their life. So we can continue. Today, the most dangerous advice you can give a child is go to school, get good grades, and look for a secure job. That's such a dangerous advice. He likes to say, that is old advice, it's bad advice. If you could see what is happening in Asia, Europe, South America, you would be concerned as I am. It's bad advice, he believes. Because if you want your child to have a financially secure future, they can't play by the same old set of rules. It's just too risky. Then this lady asked him what he meant by old rules. People like me, then he says, people like me play by different set of rules from what you play by, he said. What happens when a corporation announces a downsizing? He asked. What happens when a corporation announces a downsizing? Then this lady says, people get laid off, one. Families are hurt, unemployment goes up. Yes, but what happens to the company in particular, a public company on the stock exchange? What happens to the company in particular, public company on the stock exchange? And the price of the stock usually goes up when the downsizing is announced. This lady says, the market likes it when company reduces its labor costs, either through automation or just consolidating the labor force in general. That's right, he said. And when stock prices go up, people like me, the shareholders, get richer. Wow. That is what I meant by different set of rules. Employees lose, owners and investors win. Robert was describing not only the difference between employee and employer, but also the difference between controlling your own destiny and giving up that control to someone else. There's something rising up here. Let's just continue reading. We get to see it in the next few lines. Kindly comment in the comment section below what you think about when you advise kids to go to school, get good grades, go to college, then get a secure job. Sorry about the background noise. My office is in a noisy place, but I'm working on that. Thank you. But it's hard for most people to understand why that happens. I say, they just think it's fair. Oh. That's why it is foolish to simply say to a child, get good education. He said, it is foolish to assume that the education the school system provides will prepare a child for the world they will face up upon graduation. Each child needs more education, different education. They need to know the rules, the different set of rules. There are rules of money that rich people play by, and there are rules that other people, 95% of the population, plays by. We say, and the 95% learns those rules from home and in school. That is why it's risky today to simply say to a child, study hard and look for a job. A child today needs a more sophisticated education, and the current system is not delivering the goods. I don't care how many computers they put in the classroom or how much money schools spend. How can the educational system teach a subject that it does not know? So how does a parent teach their children what the school does not? How do you teach accounting to a child when they get bored? And how do you teach investing as a parent, you yourself as a risk averse? Instead of teaching my children to simply play safe, I decided it was best to teach them to play it smart. So there are two things here. There is one, playing it safe, and there is another thing, playing it smart. There is the safe part and there is the smart part. 95% go for the play it safe. The play it safe, they are afraid to take the risk. And then there is a 5% that goes for the play it smart. So in this channel we are going to be teaching ourselves how to transition from the 95% to the 5%. I hope in the next few months, in the next few years, in the next few weeks, we will be where we are supposed to be. Let's keep reading as we upgrade. So there is a play it safe and the play it smart. So how will you teach a child about money and all the things we've talked about? This lady asked Robert Kiyosaki. Robert, how can we make it easy for parents, especially when they don't understand it themselves? Said, I wrote a book on the subject. Where is it? In my computer. It's been there for years in random pieces. I add to it occasionally, but I've never gotten around to put it together. I began writing it after my book became a bestseller, but I never finished the new one. It's in pieces. Okay, and in pieces it was. After reading the scattered sections, I decided the book had merit and needed to be shared, especially in the changing times. We agreed to co-author Robert's book. I asked him how much financial information he thought a child needed. He said it will depend on the child. Okay. He knew at a young age that he wanted to be rich and was fortunate enough to have a father figure who was rich and willing to guide him. Education is the foundation of success, Robert said. Just as scholastic skills are virtually important, so are financial skills and communication skills. So there are 3 skills that are very important: scholastic skills, financial skills, and communication skills. Let's keep reading. What follows is a story of Robert's 2 dads, a rich one and a poor one, that expands on the skills he developed over a lifetime. The contrast between the 2 dads provides an important perspective. The book is supported, edited, and assembled by me. Okay, so this was the lady who's co-authored the book with Robert Kiyosaki. Okay. Robert presents, although challenge and financial award and stuff, they provide valuable insight into the way true investors analyze the investment decisions. When we as parents advise our children to go to school, study hard, and get a good job, we often do that out of culture habit, something that has been passed on from years and years and years. People are advised that because they were also advised to do that. Okay, it has always been the right thing to do. Sure. When I met Robert, his ideas initially startled me. Having been raised by 2 fathers, he had been taught to strive 2 different goals. His educated dad advised him to work for a corporation. His rich dad advised him to own the corporation. Wow. So there is one advising him to start a corporation, work for a corporation, and there is another dad, the rich dad, who's advising him to own the corporation. Where would you like to be? I'd like to own the corporation. I'd like to own the corporation. Okay. Okay. One wants the other to work for a corporation, another wants the other to own the corporation. So here we are going to be looking at how we can transition from working for a corporation to owning the corporation. But let's put a disclaimer. Not everyone wants to let me say, be the boss, something of that sort. There are some people who are contented with having somewhere they can always go every day, check in, do a few stuff here and there, check out, and life is peaceful and life moves on. They are contented. Then there is the other bunch, the go-getter, the one who never settles. They want more for their life. They want it in abundance. They reach a goal, then they see a way of taking the goal bigger and higher and reaching out not only for the stars and something of that sort. I hope you guys understand. The people who are contented and the people who are never, not really never contented, but people who want more for themselves. And I am that person. I want more for myself. Yeah, I'm not gonna overshare, but that's enough for right now. Let's continue reading. Okay, having two different dads caused many problems. Robert's real dad was the superintendent of education for the state of Hawaii. By the time Robert was 16, the threat of if you don't get good grades, you won't get good job had little effect. Why? Because he already knew his career path was to own corporations, not to work for them. In fact, it had not been for a wise and persistent high school guidance counselor, Robert might not have gone to college. He admits that. He was eager to start building his assets, but finally agreed that the college education would also be benefit to him. Truthfully, the ideas in this book are probably too far-fetched and radical for most parents today. Some parents are having a hard time simply keeping their children in school. But in the light of our changing times, as parents, we need to be open to bold ideas. One thing for sure, most parents need to be open to bold ideas. There's no point forcing kids to go to school, get good grades, get to college, have a nice job. Times have changed, and we have to change it. We don't have to stick to the old rules. We don't have to keep on, like I read in Blossoms of the Savannah by Ole Kulet. You don't have to keep taking medication that cured certain ailment 10 years ago. You take it 10 years down the line, you're still taking the same medication, and it doesn't work that way. Things change. We have to be open to change, more change, new change every time. Truthfully, the ideas in this book probably are far too fetched and radical for most parents. One thing for sure, ideas radical, complex for most parents, especially the parents who grew up a little I don't know how to explain it, but I hope you guys are getting it. To encourage children to be employees is to advise your children to pay more than their fair share to taxes over a lifetime, with little or no promise of pension. And it is true that taxes are a person's greatest expense. In fact, most families work from January to mid-May for the government just to cover their taxes. That's very true. Okay. New ideas are needed. This book provides them. Robert claims that the rich teach their children differently. So we're also going to analyze how the rich teach their children that the poor don't teach. Okay. The poor and the middle class don't teach the children. They teach their children at home around the dinner table. These ideas may not be the ideas you choose to discuss with your children, but thank you for looking at them. I advise you to keep searching. In my opinion, as a mom and a CPA, the concept of simply getting good grades and Finding a good job is an old idea. One thing for sure. We need to advise our children with great degree of sophistication. We need new ideas and different education. Maybe telling our children to strive to be good employees or striving to own their investment corporation is not such a bad idea. One thing for sure, you can be a good employee as a startup as you have it back in your mind that you want to own a good corporation in the future. Starting small while thinking big. Something that Vusi Tabakwayo says. I'm one of his fans. It is my hope as a mother that this book helps other parents. Robert's hope to inform anyone can achieve prosperity if they choose so. If today you are a gardener or a janitor or even unemployed, you have the ability to educate yourself and teach those you love to take care of themselves. Take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves. One lady says, take care of yourself so that when the ones you love fall, your arms will be strong. I don't know her name, but I've seen her severally on TikTok. Okay. Today we are facing global and technological changes as great or even greater than those ever faced before. No one has a crystal ball, one thing for sure. But one thing is certain, changes lie ahead that are beyond our reality. Who knows what the future brings? But whatever happens, we have two fundamental choices. Play it safe or play smart. By preparing, getting educated, and awakening your own and children's financial genius. That's by Sharon Lecher. For free audio report, what my rich dad taught me about money, and all you have to do, visit everything about that. So that's it for today. Tomorrow we are going to chapter 1, and we have had some important things we need to note. There is the play it safe and there is the play it smart. There are two types of dad here that Robert Kiyosaki grows up with. There is his own biological poor dad, quote quote, who advises him to go to school, get good grades, and get a good job. And then there's a rich dad who advises him to go to school if you want, own corporations, don't work for corporations. And so at a very young age of 16, Robert already knows what he wants in life. Number one thing, do you know what you want in your life? Have you written down your goals? What do you want in your life? And then we want to transition from the 95% of playing it safe to playing it smart, the 5%. So unless you don't want to transition, we can always move on. We want to grow this channel from something small to something big by learning how to play it smart. And we want this forum here, this small channel here to grow and to teach guys financial intelligence and how we can be financially intelligent and also put it into practice. So if you like today's video, the two key things: playing it safe, playing it smart, working for corporations or owning corporations. And one piece of advice that I've seen here, I don't know if it's an advice or a quote, it's a quote that we have two fundamental choices. Let's mark that. Play it safe or play it smart. By preparing, getting educated, and awakening your own and the children's financial genius. That's by Sharon Lecher. Playing it safe, playing it smart, preparing and awakening your own financial genius. Thank you. Until next time again. Goodbye. See ya.